Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. And I have been going through it recently, so I thought it would be nice to kind of sit down and have a chat with you guys about what's been going on. We're about to reach 500 subscribers, and so I wanted to say a little thank you for that and answer some questions that you guys had. I posted on my community tab and my Instagram, and if you asked some questions over there that I did not answer in this video, make sure you leave them down in the comments. I would be happy to answer them, or we can answer them next Q&A. So, first up, I just want to say thank you so much for 500 subscribers. I have done a very large channel change in the past couple of months, and if you have stuck around or if you are new here, thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you enjoy and that you stick around, and thank you so much. I cannot wait to continue making content for you guys, to continue building our community. And yeah, I got a couple of questions about my YouTube channel, and if the camera is moving, we have a special guest with us that I will reveal later on, or he'll reveal himself. So one of the questions that I got asked was, what made you want to start a YouTube channel? So I started my YouTube channel in the beginning of 2020, right before the pandemic hit, but I had been ruminating on it since the end of 2019 when I discovered book-related videos. I basically just started making book-related content as soon as I started my channel.
Okay, hi, this is editing Ashley. I realized that I didn't actually explain or answer this question in any way. I decided to start a YouTube channel because I started watching YouTube and I loved the idea of sharing the lots of opinions that I have on the internet, especially about books. I was excited to talk to people that also liked books like I liked books and create a community around people that wanted to talk about the same things that I did and sharing my life with people and all of that. That really interested me. I liked the idea of creating videos and creating this piece of media that allowed people to connect in that way over books, and it just went from there. And that's kind of why I started. And yeah,
That sort of leads into some channel updates that I have, or just some thoughts that I've been thinking recently about directions I want to go with my channel. I have mentioned many times that I want to share more of my life than just the books that I'm reading. And so I have made the decision that I'm going to branch out from that, and I will be making majority vlogs, but I will also be making deep dives into popular culture, and I will be doing a bunch of different things. I will still continue to talk about books and, like I said, do vlogs, and my channel will mainly focus on mental health and my life and my journey through life, but I am going to be incorporating different videos, different styles, and sort of broadening that to show you all avenues of my life, because I don't just read, I don't just take care of my animals. I like movies, I like TV shows, I like a bunch of different stuff, and I have opinions on all of those things, so I want to share them with you. So let me know down in the comments what book series or movie series or TV show you would love to hear my opinions on. I'm thinking very like early 90s TV shows, those comfort shows that I just have loved my entire life and never gotten a chance to rave about. So that's sort of what I'm thinking for that. And I just want to continue to make videos and content that really represents who I am and my different varied interests. So I also got a question of, do I ever think that I will show my partner on my videos or in any of my content? If you don't know, I do live with my partner. I've been with him for, well, it'll be 7 years in October, and I don't know if I will ever show him. I respect his privacy, and he has never shown any interest in being in front of the camera. If that changes, I certainly would be willing to put him on my channel, but I respect his wish to remain private. He didn't start this YouTube channel. We didn't start this YouTube channel together. This was a very much a side project for me, and I respect him wanting to keep his private life private. And then the last question that I got in regards to my YouTube channel is, what was your vision behind your vintage aesthetic? So I wouldn't really consider my aesthetic vintage. Like, I do have my intro, which is a VHS tape, and my thumbnails and stuff, which kind of are more film style, and like my B-roll and stuff is more film style. But I wouldn't consider myself a very aesthetic person. I don't really like wear vintage clothing and things like that. That's just the look I like to go for with my videos because it feels very intimate. I was a VHS baby. The idea of watching someone's home videos is very appealing to me. It feels very raw and intimate, like I said. So that's kind of the vibe that I was going for when I sort of chose this idea of the home diaries, the video diaries, stuff like that. All right, so next up, I did want to kind of give you guys a life update. So if you have been following my channel for the past couple of weeks, I have really been going through it. Both of our animals, both of our cats got sick back to back, and it was really, really hard. My animals are the loves of my life. They are the reason that I exist, and I live to take care of them. And so it was really hard to see them not at their healthiest. Thankfully, we have gotten over that. They got the medication they needed, and we were able to bring them home and do all of those things. It was just hard having it back to back. That was kind of what was going on. I don't want to get too in depth because I've just been living through it for the past couple of weeks, and I'm just tired of it. But that was sort of the update on that. And then the other update is we have welcomed a new family member into our home. His name is Oswald. He is 6 weeks old at this point, and he was rehomed to us by a woman who wasn't able to keep the litter that her cat gave birth to, and we took him, and my mom took his like twin. She has another boy cat that is gray that looks exactly like him. Oswald is a little bit lighter than the other cat is, but he is still very small, and we just brought him home this weekend, so he's very much adjusting. We have him in my office, and he is away from the other cats, and he will be away from them until we slowly make the transition to introducing them. We had sort of like a soft introduction yesterday with Bane, and they did very, very well. Usually they start adopting kittens out at like 7 to 8 weeks, so he's still very small. He is eating regular dry and wet food, so there's no concern about mother's milk or anything like that, obviously, but he is still very young, and we want to make sure that he is set up for success when he gets introduced to the new house and all that kind of stuff. And one of the questions that I got was, what made you theme your cat's names after Batman? So we have 3 cats. We have Oswald, which is the Joker's middle name. We have Bane, which is a Batman villain, and we also have Gotham, which is obviously the city that Batman takes place in. When I met my partner, he already had Gotham, who is our oldest cat. When we got Bane, I was like, let's just keep with the Gotham Batman theme, and we chose Bane. It's a pretty short 1-syllable name, and I think it fits him pretty well. We have like a million different nicknames for him off of that. When we knew we were going to bring in a third cat, we were like, we have to go with another Batman name. That's not an option. So we were between Oswald for a boy, and Ivy for a girl. I was personally rooting for Ivy because Poison Ivy, I've been obsessed with Poison Ivy my whole life. But yeah, Oswald I think is just so cute. So other than that, I mean, really the biggest update that I would have for you guys is kind of about my mental health. I've been pretty open since I was diagnosed with my PMDD a couple of months ago at the beginning of the year about my mental health, and I'm still very much adjusting. I am still on my Prozac, and some months are definitely harder than others. I would say this past month or so has been kind of rough just because the cats have been sick, but also I've been having back-to-back periods, which means back-to-back PMDD episodes, and it's just really hard. and I'm trying to make it through. I'm trying to do the best that I can and take it minute by minute. If you are also struggling with mental health in some way, do everything in, say, 2-minute increments, 5-minute increments, 10-minute increments, whatever you can do. So if you are struggling to get out of bed and brush your teeth, tell yourself, okay, I'm going to go in to the bathroom, I'm going to brush my teeth for 30 seconds. I'm just going to do 30 seconds. And then once you're already in there brushing your teeth, you will find that it's easier to do. So that is sort of what I have been doing. And it's helped. There's no cure. I mean, you're supposed to get on medication for it and do all of these things, but it doesn't just go away. And it's something that you have to deal with in varying levels of severity every month. And it doesn't get easier necessarily. So I'm okay. I have worse days, I have good days, I have days that I feel like are never going to end and I'm never going to get any better, and then I have fantastic days. So it's just a work in progress. Oswald is just losing his mind over this tripod. So that's sort of the update on my mental health. And yeah, and then before I answer some of my miscellaneous questions, I'm going to tell you about my recent reads. So I haven't really done a like full on recent reads or like a wrap up recently. If you're interested in like consistent updates, I would recommend you follow my Goodreads. It's linked down below. Because I do keep my Goodreads up to date and I don't always mention it in my videos. So one of the questions that I got in regards to my reading was, what is my favorite read of 2023? That is a very mean, evil, and hateful question. But I would probably say my favorite, I'm going to give you two. I'm going to give you three. My favorite manga of the year is probably going to be the Chainsaw Man manga that I started in the beginning of the year. I'm all the way current, and I absolutely loved it. I think it was fantastic. I haven't watched the anime, but I really want to. It's very funny, but very, very dark. I think all of the characters are sort of brilliant, and the plotting is amazing. You really don't know what's going on. You think you do, but you really don't know what's going on in this world. So basically, we have manifestations of demons, and we also have demon hunters, and or devils rather. And the main character has the chainsaw devil inside of him, so he turns into a chainsaw, and the stronger the fear for that devil is, the stronger that the devil is. So like the gun devil is very, very strong, and the main character is recruited by this agency that fights devils, and he is supposed to be taking down the gun devil. And it's fantastic. Like I said, it's super, super funny. Dingy is such an amazing character. He's so hilarious, and all of the other characters are fascinating, and the way that the story goes is also fascinating. So I definitely recommend that one. And then I would say for my favorite like contemporary romance, just regular romance, would be Restore Me by J.L. Seekers. This was something that I had seen going around. It's an indie published romance, and it's about a woman who has a romance with her deceased husband's best friend. They had a chance encounter back in college before she started dating her husband, and her husband has now passed away. This is beautiful. If you really, really like possessive heroes that are absolutely obsessed with the heroine and are so communicative with their feelings and so open and honest, I would definitely recommend this. Their relationship is gorgeous. They both have a lot of unresolved feelings going on. The heroine is dealing with grief and the feelings of moving on from her ex-husband, and we see all of those issues sort of manifest themselves in the relationship, and the hero is just an absolute dreamboat, and I would super, super recommend. It's fantastic. And then lastly, my favorite fantasy would probably be The Serpent and the Wings of Night. This is a fantasy romance, and it's about a main character who is human, and she was taken in by the vampire king. And in the beginning of the story, she enters into a tournament to be granted any wish by their goddess, and the wish that she has is to become entwined. I don't know exactly what I can't remember the phrasing that they use exactly, but entwined with the vampire king so that she can have powers without actually going through the turning ceremony. And it was just amazing. She has a very slow burn romance with one of the vampires. The lore behind the vampires is very interesting. The world building is phenomenal. It's very fast paced while being very digestible, and the world building is very accessible. So, very interested to continue that series, and I loved it a whole lot. So, those are my recent reads that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So, let's go over the last couple of questions that I got, and then I'll let you guys go. I got asked, what is your ideal relaxation routine? So my ideal relaxation routine would be knocking all of my chores out, because I absolutely relax the best when I know that I don't have anything on my plate that I don't have to do. So after I have completely deep cleaned the house, turning on a comfort show or movie like Charmed or Twilight or Sweeney Todd, getting the good book that I'm reading, laying in my bed under my blankets with my little bedside table lamp on, and just kind of relaxing. There is nothing better than doing a deep clean on your house and then laying in bed after you just sweated your ass off, knowing that you don't have anything you need to do, that you can just completely relax. That's my favorite relaxation routine. So my next question is, can you talk about your plans for your future tattoos? So I actually recently did a tattoo tour on my channel, and I talked about how I want to get more tattoos in the future. I have a lot of plans, but I would say my two set in stone ones are, I plan on getting a horror themed tattoo on my leg, and then I also want to get tattoos for all of my animals on my left arm, but I want it to be done with vines. Next up, what is my drink of choice? So my drink of choice is probably iced coffee. I can drink iced coffee. I can drink an entire 12-ounce iced coffee in like 2 gulps. I love iced coffee. It's so refreshing. And if it's made right, it's absolutely delicious. I could drink it all day long, and that's part of the problem. And then my second favorite drink is sweet tea. And when I say sweet tea, I mean a southern sweet tea. If you were raised in the South, you know exactly what I am talking about when I say sweet tea. That is the best, most refreshing drink ever. And that is probably the thing that I have had the most in my life, that I've drank the most in my life. And it's so good. So, so good. And then lastly, if money wasn't a factor, what would you do for a living? So, I have like 1,000 different dreams of what I would want to do in my life and would maybe have done in a previous life. But I think if absolutely money was not an issue, I would want to run an animal sanctuary in which I could rehabilitate animals, and put them back in their natural habitat, or provide a safe and healthy and cared for living ecosystem for them, for the rest of their lives. That would be ideal for me. I would also like to become an animal educator, so I want to go to prisons, schools, hold seminars, go to like conventions and things like that, and talk about the benefits of animals and the benefits of animals that people don't really like or appreciate, like snakes, bats, things like that. That would be something that I would love to include in the sanctuary. And then I also would like to offer free services for people that need emergency surgeries and things like that, for their animals, whatever their animal is, and whatever the cost. This is not something that I had really ever considered before, but as I mentioned earlier in the video, I had 2 of my animals get sick back to back, and it was very expensive. And I feel so deeply for the people that are unable to afford their animals' medical bills and either have to rehome them or unfortunately euthanize them. And I would like to make it so that no one ever has to make a choice between paying their rent and paying their animals' hospital bills. And I would love to be able to provide that to people if money weren't an issue. So those are sort of the 3 things that I think I would love to do with my life if I had all of the money in the world. So this is Editing Ashley, and I forgot to mention that Tamika over at Tamika Ray asked this. She will 100% kill me if I don't say that she asked this. She asked, why are you the cutest thing I have ever seen? No, you. That is going to be it for this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you leave any additional questions that you have down below, and I would love to chat with you guys down there about anything that you want to talk about. Find all of my social medias and everything linked down below. You can follow me on Instagram and my Goodreads. You can follow my podcast on all your favorite streaming platforms. We are on a hiatus, but we will be back eventually. It's a horror podcast. It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next one.